October 8th has been declared World Egg Day. This is the 25th anniversary of the official day dedicated to the humble but mighty egg. And the Egg Farmers of Canada organization is joining local chefs to develop and publish new recipes. And Vancouver chef Josh Gale is with us now. Josh, hello there.
Hi, Gloria. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So how vital are eggs to what you do with your work?
I mean, eggs are a huge, huge part of my food. They're a huge part of my cuisine, and they've been a big part of my work for a long time. I absolutely love cooking with eggs. I love eating eggs, and they're definitely one of my favorite ingredients to use.
Okay, so is that sort of the umbrella, eggs of all kinds, or does a chef become a connoisseur of different types of eggs? How do you approach it?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely onto something there. Like when when you cook for years and years, it becomes fun to try and use different ingredients. So cooking with duck's eggs and different types of hen eggs. But at the end of the day, the humble chicken egg, I think this is one of the best ingredients out there. And I can't wait to show you the dish that we're making today.
Oh, nice. And there's always the quail egg, which is always a nice little adornment on something. It just looks
You're
so
quite
cute.
the connoisseur yourself.
So what recipe do you have for us today?
So today I want to share with you a pretty simple spaghetti carbonara with a poached egg on top. I think it's a perfect dish. It's a perfect brunch dish. And I think it's something simple enough that the home cook can make in home, but it's also super impressive and super delicious.
Okay, where do we start?
So first things first, I've got my pasta that's just cooked behind me. We're using this really nice dried spaghetti. I've got eggs poaching right here that are pretty much finished. And I've got some pancetta that we've already kind of rendered out. So I've got a warm pan. I'm just going to add a little bit of my pancetta. I'm just going to add a little splash of olive oil because when you're cooking Italian food,
of course, can't go wrong. That was a generous splash. I like your splash.
Oh, I'm a generous guy. So I've just got some spaghetti here that's ready, and the thing with cooking pasta is you always want to transfer it directly from the pot that it cooks in into the pan, because you want to try and capture as much of that starchy water as you can, because that's what's going to bring our sauce together. And to take that a step further, I'm actually going to grab a spoon and get just a couple splashes of this starchy water, because this is going to help make a beautiful sauce.
It wasn't until very recently that I realized you're supposed to keep that starchy water and add it in a little bit later as the pasta gets to it. It's like, oh, I've always,
Exactly.
never just throw your pasta into a strainer.
No,
and
you never throw it away.
Away goes all the water. So that's good to underscore. Thank you.
Well, thanks for noting that. And I've got some really nice egg yolks here, and I've just whisked them together pretty simply. And I'm just gonna pour them in, and that's pretty much gonna be our sauce and start to pull it together. So we're going to give it a couple tosses, and at home, if you're not super comfortable with that, you can always use a spoon and just give it a little stir.
That's only the yolks. You separate them before you do that. Okay.
Yeah, that's just yolks separated. I left a tiny bit of the whites in just because the whites are really kind of clingy, so they help kind of turn the sauce into this really nice kind of creamy, luxurious carbonara. So we're just going to let that sit for a minute. And big ingredient in carbonara is cracked black pepper. So I've got a really nice pepper mill and some really nice, it's called Pelletri pepper. And I'm just going to crack a very, very generous amount in.
Oh, I love that. I'm getting that.
One of my second favorite ingredients.
On my tongue.
Yeah, that little kick.
Yep.
This is Parmigiano Reggiano. So to me, the king of cheeses from Italy. And again, I'm going to be very generous and give us a pretty good amount in there, and that's just going to kind of melt into our sauce and really help tie us together.
I'm coming to your house. I like your whole approach with the generous the generous helpings there.
I mean, that's what food's all about. That's the whole point of food and cooking is, to kind of share the things that you love with people, and this is one of the things that I love the most.
Now wait a second. There's no cream or anything like that in your carbonara?
No. If you're Italian and you're cooking pasta, there's never any cream, but you can see, as we start to toss these eggs, the sauce gets really creamy, gets really thick. There's no need to use cream. If you are cooking at home and say you're in a hurry, you can always add a splash of cream, because one thing it helps with is it helps to make sure that the eggs and the sauce don't cook. So It's a little hack, a little pro tip, but if you have the time and you want to do it like the pros do,
right,
skip the cream.
So I guess the key there would be not to overcook the eggs, right? Because you don't want them to be all
exactly.
really hard. I see.
Yeah, scrambled eggs and carbonara are two very different things, and that's not exactly what we're going for today.
Important to note. Important. So what's your heat element on there? Is that medium or a sort of a low?
I've got it on a pretty mid-low right now.
Okay.
Again, you want to be really careful that you don't scramble your eggs. So, a low temperature and let it just come together slowly is kind of what we're looking for.
Okay, plater for us, or you can show us the before or after if you like.
Well, yeah, I mean this is the after. This is what we're going for. And now we're going to take this to the plate. So we've got our noodles. You can see that sauce is just clinging to them.
Lovely.
We're just going to put that in the center of our plate.
And that's got the pancetta already in. You started with that in the pan.
Got the pancetta. It doesn't have enough of it though, so I'm just going to grab my spoon and make sure we get all of it. It's that pancetta. I mean, the thing about carbonara is it's just such a simple dish, but you really want to make sure that you're showcasing the 4 ingredients in it. You want to use great eggs, great Canadian eggs. You want to use really nice either pancetta or bacon. Traditionally this dish is made with guanciale, which is a cured kind of pork jowl, but sometimes it can be hard to find. And for me, you can use any kind of cured smoked pork product. So I think pancetta, even bacon work really well.
Okay, you're going to pop out that poached egg for that finishing touch.
I was just going to say our finishing move here is just this perfectly poached egg, ready to go. We're just going to use a slotted spoon because we want to make sure that we drain as much of that water. We don't want to kind of thin out our sauce. We're just going to push it down and kind of make a little nest. Finish it with our egg right there. And then last move, I'm going to go back to that pepper again and be pretty liberal.
Love it. Love it. A little more Parmigiano Reggiano.
I was thinking a lot more Parmigiano, but I'll meet you somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Josh, that is fantastic. Thank you so much. Now we're all craving eggs and wonderful technique.
Well, you're very welcome.
Really straightforward recipe. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.